We are doing a lot of wedding cakes every week. Some of these orders is really unusual, like either they are just sort of very interesting shape or something really large in size. And one of those orders came just a few weeks ago from our regular customer Maria, and her mom is Helen. Maria getting married, and they want to have something really special, something really large. I'd like to take the opportunity during this event, during this doing this cake, making this cake, I want to share with you all those individual sessions, individual part of the production with you, and hopefully that it will be something that you can enjoy. First of all, when we talking about this kind of wedding cake, we make sure that we have to follow up what customer request is. They cannot exactly describe what they're looking for, but they can give me sort of information that I can start working with it. First of all, the size. They want to have it at least a meter, but not too high, not more than maybe 1 meter 10. They want to have the color concept of white, ivory, probably more dominant, and a little bit of gold, but also not too strong. And they like to have lots of flowers on the cake. So cake surface is a certain amount of cake surface we have, but I cannot just really fill up everywhere with flowers. I have to still come out with a, instead of just chucking the flowers on the cake, I have to come out with a certain concept and certain design that it's really matched together with the concept of the cake. And they like to have the cakes in different height, sort of like not everything in the same height, at different levels and different height. And the biggest challenge is this wedding is happening in Adelaide. We are in Gold Coast, so it's about 2,000 kilometers. So I have to be very careful what I'm designing, not to forget what they're looking for, and I have to also be careful. Every single component can be packed separately, and I have to decide what I'm doing here at home and what I'm going to do over there after delivery. I would like to make a drawing which is not fully in detail, but when I look at this drawing, I want to see the actual concept, I want to see the heights of the cake, and I can refer and measure this drawing. Where do I put flowers, where do I pipe my decorations, etc., etc. This cake is asked to prepare for 300 portion, but I will exceed a little bit more, because if they're looking for such a size, number of portions then comes in the second important thing. That is, we have to reach the height, even that goes over the number of people. So I have to start from the height. So as you see, I put over here one spot there, one spot here. That is 1 meter. All right. So it has to stay around this area. That's a table surface, tabletop. That's the beginning end of the cake. I like to have an oasis in this area about this size, that I can put my flowers about this much. Then the top tier will be definitely about 150 millimeters. So I'm doing it very, very roughly, and after that we're going to see, maybe we can just make it thicker lines. This cake will be about 125 height, so that's the one, the top tier. And after that I will put 200. This will be also 125. Then I need to have 250. You know, if I put 250, that means the cake will end up probably 260, 270, because we're going to put all those icing and everything on it. That's the 3 layers of the first 3 layers. Then comes the 300. As I remember that the customer wants to have a different heights, I'll do this one a little bit lower, maybe about 10 cm. Then I like to start from the base now. I will have a legs for 5 centimeter. That will be my board.
I will use a square board, and probably should be around 65 for comfortable, because the legs will be just stretching out. The legs will be stretching to the corners. We will see it very soon. Okay, that's the center of the cake approximately. Then I will have, I think I should make another at least 2 layers here, which is about completing the 6 layers. First tier I want to make it about 125 again, and that should be around 40. And I like the one layer here, it's in gold plated in between. So I'm almost there, but as you see, that is the height is not correct. So I'm going to stretch this one a little bit longer. There. This one goes down a little bit more. And then this one goes here. This one a little bit lower. Alright, this is my cake. Basically, the main shape of the cake is already there. Okay, now we're going to use peonies, we're going to use large peonies, we're going to use roses, we're going to use small little flowers, it's a fillers. So what I like to do is I'm going to make imaginary that I'm going to arrange the flowers on it first. So this is going to be no flowers, there will be a gold level. I'm going to use 24 karat gold, which is come from overseas. Edible 24 karat gold, it will be plated on the cake. Alright. What I like to do, they have 2 requests. One request is they're using a lot of flowers. Another request is having ornaments like sort of like a vintage style, and also a little bit of gold touches. So what I will do, I will start from here, turn around to the flowers, exactly opposite side I'm going to start the other decorations, go opposite of it, and then just end up somewhere around here. So the flowers on the top will be, look like, let me just do this with a black one a moment. So this is the peonies, that's the small roses. I don't have to do it exactly, I just want to see that main shape. Okay. Some little flowers as the fillers. Okay. Then I will stretch this one to this area. I'm going to go like this, go behind, go here again, go behind, and go here again. So this is my flower bouquet will be. So let me just draw this one quickly. By doing that, I can also count the flowers, approximately decide how many flowers I need. Alright, this is going behind, starting here again. And then the flowers actually sitting out here, and then coming from this corner again. And this bit will be a little bit more sort of like a little buds finishing off. Alright. The main shape of the cake is already there. That's the main cake. And this is my board. That's gold pot. That's gold pot. All right. Then what I like to do, I want to put some ornaments, which is I'm going to after touch up with the gold. So it comes from here to there. So I don't see it from. It comes from behind and comes from here. So it is actually starting from here and turning like this. All right, turning behind again like this, and then starting from again. Okay, in this level, I like to use different concept. I want to use one diamante here, diamante, sort of like a joint piece, two pieces of diamantes, and I want to use a ivory satin ribbon, comes over here, and then just combining in this corner, going behind. I want to do one more thing here. What I like to do to make this cake a little bit more elaborate, I want to lower this base a little bit till here. All right, I think this is a very good idea. I'm going to put one invisible. It's visible, but you don't see it because I'm going to cover that board and this one exactly the same material, so it's an illusion that is not there. Then after that, I'm going to do a sugar ornamental legs in these four sides. Okay, so that will be look like this. I'm going to make it more detailed later on. And then this one comes in here like that. I think this adds a lot of flair to this design. Before I do the sugar part, I'm going to make a more detailed picture to actually stenciling to cut this properly. This is only the concept. Alright, that you see that is a bit sort of like darkness behind. It looks like empty, and you see that it will look like that the whole cake is standing on these little legs, but actually standing on this one in this other platform underneath. Alright, what's missing here? There's always, when you put cakes on top of each other, there's a little gap over here. I have to cover that. So what I like to do, if I have a flower bouquet here and gold ornaments here, I like to put exactly the same color of the icing, more decoration here, very dim pipings, so you can't see from far away, but you only see the shade. And I'm going to just join this one here, this area, and then continue with the smaller ones in this area. You will see it later on when I'm doing it. I'm going to share with you every single steps of this cake. I think this looks pretty complete because we have to also know where to finish. So if you just continue doing things, you're overloading the thing. So I'm as a cake decorator, I'm quite happy with this one. If I look at this whole design and compare which I've been in both places like Europe and America, so this is a bit more classic American design. It's quite a heavy, sophisticated look, lots of vintage shapes on it, and then also plenty of flowers in different sizes, and then comes to a really classic, beautiful looking cake.
once I have the design and all concept is finished, then it's time to decide what is more important to do earlier, what is more important to do later on. Certain part of the cake, it will be out of sugar, so because of the transportation and all those things, I like to make sure that every single thing I produce out of sugar, it dries completely. So that means I have to do it, even that I have another week to go to do to transport, I have to do these certain parts now. What is more important is these legs. These 3 legs, these 4 legs will be out of sugar. Then I like to do them as early as possible, and I want to draw them exactly the shape what I want, and I'm going to produce a stencil that I can use that stencil, put it on the rolled sugar and cut them.
Okay, these parts will be out of sugar. So when I look at this direction, I cannot exactly know how big is it because it's standing like this. That's why I go to this side. It will be starting from here and then touching to the surface of the cake, going like this, and it's end up here. So when it is still bended, when I make it straight, will be around from here till there. Okay, I have to stretch that design from here till here. And if I look at the surrounding of the first layer, that's probably the corners in 45 degrees. So that is the quarter part. So this is the quarter part. I don't want to make it from here to there. I want to make it inside here, and then make some other pipings in between here. So that means that is my height. Okay, and that is my actually the amount of space I have to use. So this area, centralize it. So I'm just drawing that according to just my feelings. I want to do something here like that. That's the classic vintage design. I'm going to do something like this. All right. Then probably goes like that. And I like to get this part is like a bare foot. Maybe just 4 pieces or just 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, so 5. And join this part with that. Yeah, I think this is coming up quite good. I want to go here, then go, maybe just go like this again. Alright, once I get this pencil sort of approximate look, I want to do it again with a thicker pen, thicker marking pen. And I like to create a lattice in the middle. Alright, so if I like to get this one out of sugar, and I like to have all those shapes in front of me, I have to cut stenciling from this. So this is my design, but I want to make this is not the lines that I can cut. So I have to do another color in between. So what I like to do is do that. I don't want to do other side because I want just going to one side and I'm going to fold it and cut it together. So go around here like this, like that, like that, and then like this, then here, that triangle I want to cut, and this I like to cut, and this I like to cut. I want to add one more piece over here. I want to join this one together. That's already in 0. Don't have to go around of it. And in this part, I didn't forget anything. Everything is fine. So what I like to do now, fold this into 2. And cut everything out. Every time I do another step, I'll just go refine it again and again. So because I can fix my mistakes every stage a little bit more and more. I'm going to cut this out of a flat sugar, let it really dry, and I'm going to pipe on top of it again, so it makes it much more elaborate looking. I make sure that 2 layers is really combined together, doesn't move. I use the thin paper. It gives me the possibility to just go with a small scissor, really in every little corner. It doesn't matter, that thin paper gives me enough possibility to cut out of sugar. I actually can cut with this one some small parts. Make sure that you're using the inspector gadget. Some parts I can do that. I actually, some parts I prefer the little scissor. It's pretty good. So imagine what I tried to explain all the way. So this cake is standing on about 10 centimeters from the bottom, and this guy goes around of it like this and create that lake that it looks like the whole cake is standing on these little pieces. After I finish my stencil cutting,
I want to know exactly how do I place this around the cake. So this angle is important, and this angle is important, and I have to create something because the cake is not ready yet. So what I do is I create a kind of imitation cake here. The size is approximately right, and the height is approximately what I wish to have. So because this paper is only can bend in one direction, cannot be in 3 dimension, so I can just place it over here and see exactly how I bend it. So then I decided not to use it 2 ways twisting. That means not like that and after like that. So I just want to keep it this way because I want to carry this cake 2,000 kilometers away. So if I would have chance to do this cake here and serve it here, I would probably put this ready cake here and then cut this out of a pastillage gum paste and place it, stick it over here with a bit of water, and I will have exactly returned what I wish. But now I decided to use some sort of hold. I can cut those pieces, which I cut already 3 of them, and I take a plastic container, cut little pieces like this. I like this part because it gives me the turn and stays like it is. And this one is a bit flexible. So imagine that is already bended this way. It's standing here like this, and I can use this one as a holder. This is an original board, and it gives me actually right idea what I have to do here. So I already did 3 of them. I want to do the last one with you. I already finished 3 of them, and I also decided in the middle to put some sort of lettuce here. And this is different height. That is thicker, and this is much more thinner. So actually places underneath. So I want to start doing this lettuce first. I kept that this little piece actually comes from this stenciling out. So this will give me the idea how big that lettuce should be. My pastillage already was in the microwave, and I just cut the small pieces here to get the lettuce done. This big should be enough. I have here originally round nozzle. I twist it with the plier, make it square out of it. So because of its shape, I can cut the pieces very easy and to create that lettuce very easily. Everything I cut, it goes in and release that in the middle, so I can keep on cutting without removing that piece. I like to cut this slightly bigger than this because I want to go underneath and then overlapping each other. So I place this one in the middle here, and I use this cutter and cutting about 4 or 5 millimeters outside the line. I'm going to place this over here in the middle just to get ready for the next stage. Now that was, as you realize, a bit thinner. Now I'm going to roll the rest of it a little bit thicker. A little bit of starch. I placed my stencil here to see that the size I need a little bit bigger. Should be right now. I place this here and I put 2 needles here
to left and right to stop that stencil moving around. Take my scalpel and always clean. This is very good because I can turn it this way, every direction. Every couple of cm you have to clean again. I'm holding the scalpel right 90 degrees down. Once I finish the outer frame, I'm not going to remove the sugar from outside. I'm going to leave it there to keep things in place. I'm not going to remove actually nothing at all before all the cutting business is finished. Sometimes the scalpel gets a little bit sticky. It stops making nice clean cuts, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to use the other side as a front. For the little pieces you have to lift up a little bit and push it to the other side. Alright. Okay, now we can take this one and place it on top. I have to use the other side. That's it. I just want to leave it now completely dry. Just gonna get this one also done. Now once this is one completely dry, I will pipe this a lot more details here on top, but it's not here. I will do it over there in Adelaide. Alright, next thing is let this one completely dry, a couple of days. It has to be really dry. Sometimes pastillage dries, but it's only outside. I have to make sure it's completely true. The dryness has to be 100% all the way through inside. What I'm doing now is the hidden boards under every cake. So basically I can't put the cake on top of straight away on the wood. So I have to get ready with the boards. Every side of the board, the top and the bottom, coated with the hygienically with the cardboard. So the way how I do that, I just spray the glue on the cardboard and then place the boards on it and cut it. So Just take a blade. And then just go around of it like that. I make sure that I'm cutting on a wooden board so I don't cut the other things underneath. I have a 400, 350, 300, 250, 200 and 150. This is just the basic white boards, white boxes, cake boxes I use. One side is matte, another side shiny. I just make sure that I glue it over the matte side. One side already done. So later on what we're going to do, we're going to sandwich the cake on top of this board, exactly flush on the side, so there has been no cake touching to the wood. It will be quite good to have it like that. So it's nice and firm, so when I build the cake together, these boards will help me to keep the cake exactly straight and really solid. Now, at this stage, I am sandwiching this wedding cake. This cake has got 6 layers. It's starting from the 400 millimeters. That is about 125 millimeter high. The second layer is about a little bit less, probably about 75 or about 60. And the third layer is another 125. And this is a 25 centimeter. I'm going to do it now. Then we have a 200 and 150. So starting from the 400, gradually reduce the size 5 centimeter, 400, 350, 300, 250, 200 and 150. That's a good reducing the size. It's got a good shape at the end. What is this cake has? I have actually drawn these lines on a paper, then I can see how thick I have to cut the sponges. I have here dark mud cake sponge, white mud cake sponge, and almond sponge. In between I have mocha white ganache, I have dark ganache, and I have whipped ganache with nougat, which is you can call also chocolate truffle cream or chocolate nougat truffle cream. I also put some orange candy cubes and some caramelized almond pieces inside. So as I go with this sandwiching, I would like to explain you how does it end up. So it's starting from the layer of mud cake here, and according to plan, I'm going to put a little bit of mocha ganache here. That is white chocolate ganache with mocha paste. Mocha paste means a lot of Nescafe, a little bit of water. I always try not to get the cream on top here. Okay, first layer is done, then followed by white mud cake, which is this one. I'm just pushing in, I'm not worried about the size because I'm going to deal with this later on. Another layer after that is dark ganache. As you see, all my creams are in perfect condition. They are basically in room temperature. and they are sort of spreadable. At the same time, not too liquid. The cake that I've done sandwiching is not going to collapse while I'm doing it. It's advisable if you feel that the cake is not holding itself because of everything is room temperature. After a couple of layers, you can put in the fridge. This cake has got so many layers in it. Like if I count the top icing and crumb coating everything, it's end up around 18 layers. After that ganache, I'm going to use almond sponge. I put some bits and pieces together. There's nothing wrong with that, because you just have to join it together in the way that it's built. And so actually when you're cutting the cake later on, you don't even realize it. Almond sponge is in place. After that, I'm going to put the chocolate truffle cream, which is here. As you see, that is a whipped ganache with a bit of nougat, and that's why the color is a bit lighter, because when you're whipping the ganache, you're actually adding air inside. Okay, I'm going to put some candy orange cubes, which I did this myself. It is a fresh orange skin. It's boiled with water and removed its first water because I don't want to get the bitterness of the orange skin. Then after that, I mix it with the sugar and leave it there for a day, and next day boil again, and you end up like beautiful fresh orange skin cubes. It is a lot better than what we buying from outside, from manufactured items. There's actually nothing else than the orange jam, but a little bit more strongly cooked to get a bit more firmness. Another thing I use is like a crunch, which is a caramel sugar mixed with the almond nibs, and after they break to pieces. So I want to achieve the bite, like crunchy bites when you're eating this cake. If I put the sponge on top now, it will be not sticking because it will be just not so good. So I have to just push all the things into the cream again. Next thing I will use is the mud cake again. A little bit of sugar syrup with almond flavoring, and that's my favorite, a little bit of halua. Push that moisture into the sponge. After that we start all over again. So we take again the mocha white ganache. Not too much. More higher the cake, upper layers should be a little bit less cream. Good. White sponge. Dark ganache again. Then it's the last layer of almond sponge. Almond sponge has got almost no flour, just a little bit of flour inside. Basically, almond meal been used for purpose of building a cake into a nice firm texture. Almond meal subsidizes the flour. Then comes again chocolate nougat cream. Orange again. Almond crackling. Push this into texture again. Last layer is the cake wise, is the chocolate dark malt cake. As you realize that there's different heights on each level. The first level is 125, second level is 75. This one a little bit less than the other ones because these two will combine into one kind of block, and these other ones is 125 plus probably about 150. So again, I take a little bit of syrup. This time I go everywhere because I didn't do this one yet. And the color. So that is the rough sandwiching is finished. After this cake goes into the fridge and will start getting all those crumb coat, chocolate layer, double masking again till to the icing level. We have a lot more to go. At the moment I am worrying about the construction part of the cake. As you see, all the cakes are finished, so I can take the measurements, how high are they individually, and I can also look at the drawing, but I will not rely on this drawing as much as that I can measure the cakes itself. So first of all, I measure the base, it's around 40 millimeters, and I measure every one from the beginning of the cake to the top of the cake. So I will ignore this leg part because I'm going to remove all the legs here. So we have 40, 110, 130, another 6 measurements. Altogether this end up 1 meter and 25 millimeters. So 1025 millimeters. Just slightly over the meter, which is actually what customer looking for. After I take all the measurements, what I do is I put a place of masking tape on the table, and this is like the individual part of the cake. So that is 40 millimeters from the table to the top of the base. Then I have 110 millimeters, the lifter in the middle. Then it's the first cake, 130. Second cake is 90, which is going to be covered with the gold. Then 120, then 150, 150, then 135 is the top cake. Then I have a oasis here. Then I decided to go about 6-7 centimeter inside the oasis with the metal, so I don't have to worry about any other construction. I can just poke it in and stay there. That's around 100 millimeters. So altogether is 1025. All right. Now the handicap is I can't just take 1025 millimeter of a long thread screw and then pack somewhere in the bag in the luggage and expect that this will be accepted. So I will make it three shorter ones, and then I will also join them with this joiner's nuts, which is like longer than necessary. Then you can put two together and perfectly join together. So with this drawing, it helps me. Where do I stop? Where do I start again? So I don't want to start in the middle of the wood construction inside. So I decided to stay from the base to the middle of the cake. I can place this one in the middle. As you see, there are some PVC pipes inside. This will be completely protected. Nothing will touch to the cake. And then this is the second one. Between here, I also end up middle of the cake. Then here, join together like this. Then what I will do, I will put one nut here, and then one nut, and there is the last wooden board will be around here. So I have to place one nut here, and then tighten up the both of them. The whole cake will be quite secure. So I can peg those things because of shorter, and I can also make the cake very, very secure with this kind of concept. In this project, in this order, most important thing is the packaging, because we can't just take a risk traveling 2,000 kilometers and be arriving there and the cake is all broken and we don't have time to start all over again. So that's why I give lots of attention and great details of packaging. I look after that. So I have a box which is exactly the same size of this wood, but I already pre-cut, exact same size of the box, and I put some legs underneath so I have some space to cover the nut distance over here. So I have a little hole here. I put a piece of plastic here, and this cake is ready with PVC in the middle. That little pipe in the middle. So whatever I squeeze on top here, it's not going to squeeze the cake, only squeeze it on top of this area. So what we do now, we have to centralize it. We make sure that the hole is exactly in the same spot. That's fine. Then I don't want to touch any wood on the cake. That's why I like to put first a piece of cardboard, and then another piece of wood, almost the same size of the cake, on top of it. Then just check again, just touch all the way down. Then I have a piece of long thread here. And the second nut is exactly underneath. Okay. So I'm going to squeeze this one in such a way, not too much that it can break the PVC, but gives a little bit of pressure, enough pressure to hold this cake in a place, like that. So next step, I'm going to put these cakes in the boxes, and then fill this area with some sort of instant foam that it fills exactly the right amount of support on the side. So I have something new here I'm trying. This is a kind of a foam, that liquid foam. You spray it in the empty areas and then it will harden up to hold that area properly nicely. I'm just making a kind of like pressure test. I spray this into a little box. If this wall doesn't really push up like that in the next half an hour, I will use this material to protect it around. Now, I put already the cakes, which is already completely tightened up with the nuts and bolts inside the box. So I have still this empty area. If I just have a soft landing this box on a somewhere that when the baggage handler is like throwing around a little bit, it will be fine. But I like to get a little more security on the empty area. So therefore I like to use this foam fill, which is triple expanding filler. I just take I didn't know exactly how much it's going to grow. I fill up this box actually half here. It grows so much. It's still going. There is some soft pieces inside. As long as it's soft, that means it's growing. So you have to be careful when you fill this empty areas with that. You have to not go completely, because if you fill this completely, it's going to grow up like this, like the big mushroom here. So I just fill up a little bit only at the bottom, maybe just about this much, and I'll grow about that. It will be fine. And the rest of the box I will fill up with this bubble packed. That's already good. This will be grow up till here. It will be good enough for me. Growing up inside. When this one get hardened, it's completely hardened, it's still soft, and you can knock this cake quite harshly. There's not going to be much damage in this cake. So after all that, I do my best to pack this properly. When we arrive to Adelaide and something goes wrong, basically cake cannot be disappeared from the box. There will be maybe some cracks or something, and I will take my extra material to fix it over there. I will have still 1.5 days to fix it.
Okay, we are just about taking off to airport. All the boxes are packed. There's one large one, so I packed the base of the cake and all those tools and equipments that I needed over there. Of course, that when you going into this kind of venture, you have to really take precautions. Always take something more than what we need to end up like these big boxes. So these are the boxes, and these are the two luggages that we have filled with all those flowers inside, and all the small parts that take every part of the cake. Good morning.
Straight on the scales for me, please.
Scale, okay.
Very well packaged.
Oh, you have to see inside what it looks like.
I'd like to taste it.
We already estimate the box weight is 100 kilo, and now we just realized that actual weight is 97 kilo. It's I think it's a very good estimation. We just arrived to pickup point, and looks like the box is all intact. This is only 3. It's gonna get another 3, I believe. Thank you very much. We just arrived to hotel and checking in. And this is the boxes. It looks pretty good. Doesn't have any external damage. And we will see very soon the moment of truth, and we can open up the boxes and see what happened inside. I think it looks exactly like I packed in. I see no damage at all. Okay. Quickly close, and then we're gonna start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock putting everything together. So far so good, there's no trouble. God thanks for that. Okay, let's go and get the tools now. First step is complete. No damage. Everything is unpacked. I just want to show now how is the room set up before we just put things together. These are all the cakes, and that's the whole damage what we have noticed, and this is very easy to fix it. All the flowers is ready to pick up individually and place it on the cake. I believe this is more than what we need, but it doesn't matter. And that's the table to start with. That's the main lifter in the middle. And this is the old tools that I'm going to use. I probably will touch everyone. It's a bit of music that I'll be doing it. And show you something more interesting. That's the all leftovers after packaging. That's what left. That's the most heaviest piece. How can I help you? Just a second, try an hours. Alright. Second tier of the wedding cake has to be coated gold sheet on it. So it's we use a 24 karat gold sheets which came from overseas. And Joanne is just coating that cake with gold. So first thing what she does is spray a little bit of moisture, water, and then take with sponge all these drops away and make it just a very sort of like a little bit of dam on the surface. Gold actually comes with a piece of paper behind, so you can hold the paper and then stick it on the surface. Make sure that you apply enough pressure everywhere that the gold is completely touched with the surface, and remove the paper. So it turns out quite nice. So that's my next thing to put on the cake, so I have to wait that she finish her work first. I couldn't transport the long thread screws at that 1 meter height, so I have this joiner in between. So what I put a little bit of hot glue gun here and stable this one all the way halfway through. Then I'm just going to go in there and then put together. Now, as you realize it, there's a thread, long thread screw coming from here till to the bottom. So I have to place this nut inside the cake. I cannot put my finger inside. That's why I use a little conjure like this. So the conjure is just holding the nut. And I'm going to go there now and put it in. And turning till to this level, which is the hidden wood inside. It should come between here to there, so it should become to there. We already till to the bottom, and I'm not going to force more, so the nut is around here now. So I just have to, I cannot tighten with this, but I can tighten from the bottom. Go down there and you can see me from here. That should be enough, I think. Next thing is my oasis there. It's a real oasis and just covered with sugar. It will only use for the purpose of holding the flowers, not for eating purpose. So that's beautiful. So the base is perfect. I can just put now my flowers on it. Ribbon is finished. My next step is the piping this lower position little ornamental piping here, exactly the same color as the cake, but I want to make this piping in different kind of weight. Somewhere will be thicker, somewhere will be thinner,
somewhere higher and lower. So what I like to do, but I don't want to make the flowers first and piping after. I want to do the piping first because the flowers comes on top of the piping. So I think this is a good idea to just place kind of wire around the cake just to see the positioning of the flower. Then I can decide where do I pipe, higher and lower. That's the wire that I place in the flowers here. That can show me where I do. I also need to have a positioning of the gold pipings. That in between the flow of flowers, I take this one as this flat ribbon because I'm going to pipe around this thickness. So these two spiral positioning will tell me where is the areas left to pipe rest of the cake. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm starting now with just the border piping here. Just piping like small from 0 to go a little bit thicker and go a little bit thinner again. At this stage, I'm arranging the flowers on the surface, follow up this metal wire. I have a couple of different designs of flower, different type of flowers. So what I do is I just go very slowly, and I actually make a small arrangements on little areas like this, and then continue to follow the line. So I don't want to just spread around unknowingly what's going to happen at the end. So I'm just concentrating on that 10 square centimeter first, and then continue on the next lot. So all what we do is just like this. Every flower here is handmade and wired into one bunch like this. And I decided to put in here. So I make a little hole, very small hole. Then holding that with the plier on the very, very bottom of it, and then slowly push it in. And once I'm satisfied with the position, then I open up slowly all the leaves. And I can see now here something neat here. So then I will use more smaller flowers and then put it here. And once all the garland is finished, I'm going to start using some fillers and leaves, and of course I'll decide that time in certain gaps to fill the fillers, and also I have to see that individual areas to see where to put the leaves.
It's almost 11 o'clock night, and we're going to now take a break and have some sleep. I should be a little bit less tired when I'm piping tomorrow golden ornaments in between the flower lines. So far so good that all the flowers finish, and tomorrow just maybe another 3 hours and it will then completely finish.
Today is Saturday. This is the wedding day. We have finished already the cake almost completely. The flowers in place, and now the last step that we promised actually to the client that we have to make some piping in between the flower lines. This is a bit risky step because we can just do we can easily overdo it, and then it kills the everything else around of it. So it has to be filigree piping and very subtle. That should not be overpowering everything else what you see on the cake. So it just has to be implement the rest of it. So we have already some toads, and I draw some couple of little sketches. I even actually simulate the situation with the gold painting everything. We have just sort of like thought about it, that is really the limit is very sensitive and you cannot go too much, so I decided to do even less than what we drawn here. So I like to do something really simple and small, and that's a classic of piping like this. Two double line in left turn and right turn, and after that another line S shape, another right and left turn. So then I like to repeat that all the way. And just add a little bit more sophistication here. Just go like a little bit of like a zigzag piping around of it. What I like to do at this stage now, I like to draw this or pipe this on a piece of paper and put it on the cake, and I let my wife Jo is like work on the gold brushes and then see how it looked like before we start.
I pipe the filigree work on the paper and place it on the right position, and Joanne is just painting with gold. And before we take the risk, we just want to do this step and see how it looks like. I officially declare that this cake is completely finished. Did I achieve, or did we achieve the whole success? I'm not so sure yet. This is what we're going to achieve when Maria sees this cake and say, Yener, you guys did more than what I expected. So we will know that tonight.
Oh, holy fantastic.
So the cake is in the place now. They're just putting the dance floor just around it. Hopefully there's nothing will happen. The room is magnificent. All the decorations are fantastic. Crystal chandeliers. Very large garland of flowers. It sounds very familiar.
Ωραία. Και τώρα κυρίες και κύριοι, 3 cheers for the bride and groom. Hip hip! Hip hip! Louder! Hip hip! Μπράβο! Πολύ ωραία. Να ζήσουν και να ευτυχήσουν.
We are just about checking out from Adelaide Hilton. We came here on Thursday afternoon. Today is Sunday, so the wedding was yesterday. I have to say that was the best wedding I ever been involved in this kind of event. We have seen a lot of weddings in our profession, but that was really something spectacular. I have to thank Maria and Helen for that wonderful opportunity for us to excel ourselves in such a grand event, and it was in a kind of like unforgettable experience. And the 4 days of generosity, what they given to us, what we received in this hotel, it was just sort of like enormous. And we wish Maria and Theo a wonderful, happy life and a lot of children, that we can make some more birthday cakes for them in future.